There are too many of them!
They're everywhere!
Vanguard to all units. Keep the enemy away from the Traveler. At all cost.
What is that? The Witness.
Whatever that thing is, we gotta take it down.
They found the veil.
We're in no position to engage the enemy.
We don't have a choice. We're out of time.
Osiris. Don't die. Guardian, help Osiris reach the veil before Callus does. And please, stay close to him. He doesn't have any life to spare.
I'm checking our location. We've hitched a ride to the Outer Giants, Neptune orbit. Osiris was right. The Witness sent Callus after something hidden here.
Guardian. I did not anticipate a fellow stowaway. Callus is after an artifact on Neptune, the Veil. I'm working on a plan to stop him. For now, find your way through that ship.
What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Destiny, and welcome to the beginning of Lightfall, the penultimate expansion in the Light and Dark saga of Destiny, the precursor to the final shape, which of course will probably already be out by the time this video has come out. In fact, have long been out, and we'll get to see how that story has concluded. But for this Let's Play, we are still a long ways away yet. And welcome to the Lightfall campaign. Okay, just like with the Witch Queen campaign, we are going to be going through this thing on legendary difficulty. Same rules apply. We have the power limits that we are stuck at because the game is, well, supposed to be harder in this way. We also have to keep up with its difficulties. There's more shields, enemies are harder to stun, they can take more punishment, all that stuff. But of course, in exchange, and as a reward for playing on the higher difficulty, we will be getting a whole lot more loot for doing so, as well as constant power increases, upgrade modules, and eventually, at the end of this campaign, a free exotic.
My faithful Shadow Legion, this is your glorious Emperor speaking. Our alliance with the Witness bears such delectable fruits. Together, we will devour soul.
Stay vigilant. With the Witnesses backing, they could throw anything at us.
Forward! Prepare for descent! Bring glory to the Herald of the Witness!
The Shadow Legion is one step ahead of us. Any damage we can inflict on the Cabal fleet will buy us time.
We should regroup as soon as possible. But maybe we can disable the ship's computer core.
I've located the terminal here and sent you their ship layouts.
Just received it. Locating now. Got it. We're not far from the core.
Okay, first things first I want to go over is that the Lightfall campaign is actually even more difficult than the Witch Queen campaign on Legendary, although not for the reasons that you might think. As far as the standard day-to-day combat is concerned, it's really not that bad. It's more some... I want to say impose limitations on the player that we're going to be dealing with later on in the campaign. This mission that we're doing right here is not too bad. This is actually a pretty easy mission, given that it is the first, but I want to stress that this campaign is a bit more difficult, and I probably will be dying a lot more, especially due to the fact that I am not playing on your standard everyday average Guardian. This is a character that I only break out a couple months out of the year to do the Let's Play for, and that's about it. I don't play this game on this account very often, so I'm not going to be as kitted out as your average Destiny player. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be a challenge. Now, for the keen eye who might be paying attention to continuity between videos, you might know notice a couple of differences here. One of the interesting differences is actually the size and the placement of my reticle, actually. For some reason, and for whatever reason, for the longest time on console only, Destiny 2 on console has not had the reticle in the central part of your screen. I don't know why that is, but they never gave us the option to change that until, well, honestly, close to the release of Final Shape. They finally were able to change that. They also added dead zone changes, which are incredibly important for controller players like myself. And those have honestly gone a long way to make this game better to play on console. But my reticle is actually a little bit higher than it normally is in my Let's Play videos, so you might have noticed that. You'll also notice the way that I play is just a little bit more efficient now. I'm generally better at the game than I was in the last several videos that I've recorded, and a lot of these changes have actually helped with that. Another thing that I want to talk about, although we're going to get some dialogue here.
Should have stayed behind to protect the Traveler and our people. Was it the right choice to follow Osiris?
If the Witness establishes a link with the Veil, it'll be over for the entire system. All of our losses would have been for naught. We've never faced a threat of this magnitude. Even if you stayed, you wouldn't have stood a chance against the Witness. None of us would. This is our only hope to survive the Witness.
Another thing I want to talk about is that I am recording these videos for the very first time in 4K, although they are still being output in 2K on YouTube just because my computer... I don't generally like to output in 4K very often, but you should notice a quality bump in these episodes, so if that is noticeable, that is why. I guess I'll save story stuff for after this little encounter here because I want to show you guys probably the coolest new addition to the Lightfall campaign, and that is, well, second coolest, Tormentors. These right here are fun little guys to deal with, and they are incredibly annoying. Oh, that might be a death for me. Let's see. Oh, okay, I was hoping it would actually kill me so I could demonstrate that.
What was that?
The Fruits of an unholy alliance between the Witness and Callus. I fear they'll have more surprises in store.
That is a Tormentor, and Tormentors are based off of a very important character to Destiny's lore known as Nezarec. You may have heard that name before. There is a Warlock helmet back when we were actually playing as a Warlock that is named after the guy. He is the raid boss of the Lightfall raid, actually. And well, let's just say Tormentors and Nezarec, they all look kind of the same. They behave kind of the same. They are an entirely new race that is beholden to the Witness, and they are a little bit difficult to deal with. Now, that was just a taster. That is not generally how a Tormentor fight is going to go. I mean, getting grabbed like that and instantly dying can happen, but there's actually a bit of nuance and there's a bit of complexity to how you're supposed to deal with Tormentors on a gameplay-to-gameplay basis. So that right there was kind of like, look, this is the enemy. This is what they do. That's not actually how you fight and kill them, though. You will see that in due time. Probably not in this episode, though. So let's get to work here. We are in our first darkness zone, so we need to start taking some things out here. I'm going to get one for all going on this machine gun so I can start doing extra damage to this Keymaster. Let's pick this up and get to work. So I am using Ace of Spades here, which I have used many times throughout this Let's Play. I am using a slide shot 1-2 punch shotgun. A 1-2 punch every single time I do damage with all of my pellets. It gives me bonus melee damage, which is not ideal on a Void Hunter, but whatever. It's still a pretty good shotgun for that reason, especially on a rapid fire frame, which this one is. But I also have Slide Shot, which allows me to stay in the action more, because every single time I slide, if my mag isn't completely full, I actually get 2 more pellets reloaded, as well as a little bit of extra range and stability. And then I'm using my 4th time's the charm, 1 for all retrofit escapade that we got in Season of the Seraph just a few episodes back. So let's head on inside, and we got some Scions to kill. And while we kill these guys, let's talk about the Shadow Legion. So the Shadow Legion are kind of treated like the Lucent Hive in that they are a very different race than what you're used to normally dealing with. They're not like other Cabal inherently. Now, for story purposes, it's worth noting that the Shadow Legion are not sentient. They are amalgamations of Cabal. They are not actually Cabal. They are not living, breathing things. They are essentially zombies that the Witness has crafted to act as Callus's army while he is serving him. Or serving them, I suppose. The Witness. We'll talk about the Witness later. There's a reason I'm calling him them.
We need some way to get to the surface.
I believe I have a method to accomplish that.
Did I detect a bit of hesitation in your voice?
No. My impromptu stratagems have a high rate of success. Just get here quickly.
Working on it. So Shadow Legion have a couple of quirks to them, the main thing being overshields. And also, let's just take a look to appreciate this for a moment.
He's heading right for the surface.
Oh, is that you, my tenacious little guardian? What do you think of my Shadow Legion? Revel in these hollow victories. I want you in the best of spirits when we meet in the arena.
You know, I don't really think much of your Shadow Legion, but I gotta say, I think a lot of this frickin' skybox, because holy crap, Bungie, this looks beautiful out here by Neptune right now. So, the Shadow Legion have overshields at their disposal. Every single time you see a legionary or any sort of enemy with an overshield on them, they have what are essentially these portable overshield packs on them. If you kill an enemy that's holding one of those, instead of a moth spitting out like it does with the Lucent Hive, instead they will shoot out these overshield packs. If you shoot them as they're falling through the air, you can destroy them outright, and they're a lot easier to kill that way. But if you don't do that, and I'll see if I can demonstrate this, it doesn't look like any of these actually have those overshields, so never mind. When I find an enemy, I'll probably be able to actually show it in more detail, but these overshield packs, if you, like I said, you can shoot them out of the air, kill them, but if you can't, they drop on the ground, and every single Cabal within their radius gets that overshield, making them harder to kill. You then have to either shoot them through the overshields, or you have to take out the pack itself, which once it lands has a lot more health and also has a little bit of explosive damage, so you don't want to kill it at too close of a range, or it'll actually hurt you back.
He hasn't changed, even after. Now he only has us to watch his back. Hopefully he hasn't gone off the deep end.
Okay, here's the plan. Destroy the engine.
Of this ship, the one we're on.
Crazy or not, we need to stop this invasion. I'll do whatever it takes to stop the witness. So if you aren't going to help me, then leave me alone.
Oh, Osiris. Oh, Osiris. Okay, let's start talking about the story here for a minute. So first things first, the Ghost was referencing something that happened to Osiris back in what we will call Season of the Hunt. Back in Season of the Hunt, oh, and here's one of those overshield packs, by the way. That right there is what we're talking about. Any Cabal that stands in the radius of this thing is going to get an overshield, so we need to kill it to make sure that they don't have that little advantage there. But, anyway, Season of the Hunt. In that, at the beginning of that season, which we did not get to see in this Let's Play, unfortunately, but I was able to recap in my Seasons of Beyond Light recap video. Segura was killed, which is the name of Osiris's ghost, meaning that he is now mortal. If he dies a final death. He can't be brought back. Such is the fate of any Guardian who loses their ghost. Hello, Cade. You get the picture. So, even in his state, Osiris has gone on his own to Neptune to hopefully secure what is known as the Veil, as the Witness is currently looking after it. What is the Veil? We do not know right now. The story is not willing to divulge that information, and you know what? Honestly, neither am I, because this is going to be information that we're not going to learn for a very long time. So, we're just going to kind of collectively leave you in the dark and talk about it all a little bit later, because it would be, well, honestly, a spoiler of the entire campaign if I were to give you all that information right now. So let's head back on up and put this in. And oh, look, campaign banners are free. Yes, thank you for telling me. So yeah, you still get these from the Witch Queen campaign. They're still nice to have, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it makes it easy. It just gives you full ammo and one super use, or at least a super use to start with. All right, let's destroy the ship. And I'm going to use my shotgun for a lot of this as we go through here. Oh, don't you put that up, please. Thank you. So a little trick with these phalanxes, and let me see if I can demonstrate it here. Put your shield up, buddy. Come on, do it, 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 do it. He's not doing it. I want to see if I can show this off. Hold on. Maybe I'll take a few of them out. Let me go invis here. If I can just get him to put... Oh, I wasn't able to show it. He put his shield up right then and there. Okay, I'll just say it. A little trick with the phalanxes is that right as they put their shields up, there is a slight window of vulnerability in the middle of that shield widening animation, and you can actually hurt them during that. There's like, it's just a brief second where the shield is no longer tangible. I don't know if that is necessarily intended by Bungie or it is a glitch, but it is a thing that I exploit very often with phalanxes. Honestly, just face them up. Don't try to get cute with it. You don't really need to always work around the shield unless you have absolutely no other option. All right. You know what? No. I don't really feel like dealing with that right now. There we go. And then, look, I have Orpheus rigs, so one more. And then we can take this gladiator out. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. That's a lot of damage right there. Machine gun time. Hello. Just a second. I got you. Just take out all of these. Glad there's so many freaking void shields here. Getting health every time I pick up an orb because of the mod recuperation, which is on my my class item at the moment. We'll get into a little bit more build crafting later on. We've already talked about it a bit in Witch Queen, but we're going to talk about it a lot more in this expansion, just because it's going to be so much more valuable this time as we get our butt absolutely handed to us by this campaign's difficulty, as it is, like I said, it's not going to be easy. But it's not for the reasons you might think. It's not like they just cranked the difficulty up and made it harder. No, it's honestly on the same level as Witch Queen's campaign was. It's something else that we'll talk about. Let's get a reload in here. How am I on this? Okay, this is going to be fun. Hello? 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 Let me get him with the weaken on my smoke there. Take you out, and there we go. All right. Took a little bit of extra work, but we got it. And there we go. Ship Radiator is down. Engines are down. Let's get out of here.
Okay, we've blown up the engines. Ship's losing altitude.
Rendezvous at the escape pods. Post haste.
Sure thing. Are we going to be able to make it there quickly? I sure hope so. Because I have decided to make this a single... There we go. Perfect. I've decided to make this a single episode for a reason.
Fan of Osiris's escape pod plan. Even for him, this is pretty touch and go.
But I'm also thinking that maybe future missions are all going to be multiple episodes apiece. Can I go this way? No, I cannot. All right, looks like we're going to have to go through here as everything starts to close up and this ship starts to descend. Let's get a reload in here really quickly. Goodbye. Almost got me with a couple shots.
Escape pods. Where are you?
We're being sealed off. Have to find another way.
Trying to get there. My goodness, though, there are so many things ambushing me at any given time. How about we, instead of going through, we go up? There we go. All right. Man, this is getting a little bit sketchy. What broke their way through here? Why is everything... I mean, like, I know the engines are down, but does that mean that everything else should have a chain reaction and explode? I'm not sure if that's how that works. But all right, into the hangar we go. Very reminiscent of Halo here, to be honest, as we go through locations like this. You know what mission I'm talking about. And up through the vents. There we go. Now, this is what I'm talking about. All right. This first room is not too bad. It's the next room that's going to get a little bit trickier. Let's see if I can hit you with a couple of those. Okay, easy now, easy now. Come out of invisibility with a headshot. Now, the nice thing about Firefly on Ace of Spades is that it is causing the explosion to kill those overshield packs right as they pop out. Let me move out of the way of that. Okay, hold on. You need to go. That one over there has one, so I'm going to have to be careful about this. Frickin' arc shield. Hold on. Okay, let's get rid of this guy. Did he get that off in time? I don't think he did. Oh, no, I can see the aura around it. See this little, like, glowing aura around? That tells you that that pack is up. Which, I don't know where it landed, though. I think it went into the wall, which I've never really seen that happen before. I'm not going to worry about it too much, though, because it didn't really help the Colossus a ton. Here we go. All right, final rally banner of the mission. Let's get through this thing. We're almost there. Okay. You out. The more crowd control we can do here, the better. Yes, there are the big Centurions, but you know what? Honestly, I think I should save my super for those guys. Let's take you out. That created that down there. Let me see if I can blow that up really quickly. It does do a little bit of damage to the enemies that are super close to it as well. Not like anything super significant. Not like these barrels are going to do here. But it is still extra damage nonetheless, which is kind of nice. All right, here, I'm going to actually throw a smoke at you. And that should give me that. And then take you out. Did you not die? There we go. All right. You need to go. And I think I got the last shot off in time. I do have another one here, though. Not that that's going to help too much. It's going to clear the room a little bit, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have one more Centurion. Oh, there it is. It's the War Beast Keymaster. All right, let's take this guy out. There we go. I still have plenty of heavy ammo left, so might as well use as much as I can through the rest of this. I'm going to have to use a ton just to get through that part. And using a void build, you're probably going, well, why aren't you using Lemon Arc? Why aren't you using some sort of void weapon that's going to benefit the most from what you're doing? You know, honestly, sometimes you just do something because you feel like it. And right now, I feel like using a nice hand cannon that's going to get me a lot of explosions because that's what Destiny is about. It is about feel. But, oh gosh. I think I said before that we're not going to be having another run-in with a Tormentor. Guess what? If I can go through here. Hold on. Oh, the music had to end. Sorry. At least I think so. There it is. Okay, cool. I just had to transition. I lied. Yes, we do have to fight that Tormentor here, and this is a real fight. So this is how the fight actually works against a Tormentor. A Tormentor works in 2 phases. The first phase, you will see that it has 2 glowing weak spots on its shoulders. We're going to want to take those out first things first. But while it has these weak spots, it actually moves very slowly, but has a lot of really powerful ranged attacks, multiple ones. It'll sometimes throw little waves of void energy at you. Sometimes it will stand there and summon a bunch, like this one right here, where they'll just kind of go all over the room. So make sure you get behind cover whenever this happens. But once the attack stops, even though he will approach as this continues to go, then we can get back to shooting out his shoulder pads. But once you get rid of both shoulder pads, that's when things get crazy, which it looks like I have now. So now he is going to be running at us. He still has a ranged attack, but he will also lunge at us. He will try to grab us, do the same grab that he did before when we ran into him the first time, and will essentially just chase us all around the room, which is not really fun to deal with. Not to mention, his weak spot is incredibly crucial to hit, because if you don't get the weak spot, you're not doing hardly any damage to him at all. So get to work, but also stay the heck away from him. This is why I am on Void, is so I can get the invisibility here. Okay, there he is. All right, so that right there is the activation of his grab attack. He wants to get me with it, but as soon as the glow stops, we should be fine. Let's take out the rest of these Scions here. Okay. Using ability energy, like a Void Grenade and whatnot, doesn't really do all that much. And he dropped down? I thought he was going to... Ah! Okay, there he is. Hi. Yeah, notice how I have some yellow numbers, but a lot of not yellow numbers, a lot of red numbers. Those are really, really weak hits that aren't doing me a ton of good. So you've got to be vigilant about hitting that weak spot. But the good news is when it comes to most Tormentors, not all Tormentors, but most Tormentors, they are finishable. So you get them weak enough and you can just finish them off that way. And there we go. All right, let's just finish off this hangar and then we can get to the end of this mission.
Hurry up.
Are those things safe?
Can't be that.
Well, bye, Osiris. All right, I guess it's our turn. So yeah, we've been had these dropped on our heads enough throughout this game. Let's say we drop this on top of something else. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this first episode of the Lightfall campaign. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode very, very much. And I will see you all in the next one.